Joining day 13. Yesterday was day 12, but we were somewhere else. I wonder if maybe you caught it. We were with Jaycation on the Jaycation station. We were at Disneyland. So, yeah, thanks for joining. This is December 13th, Tuesday. And it is, oh, what is that? There's like something on the something on. Oh, it's like gooey stuff on the lens. I don't know if it's the lens that we're using. Anyway, this is the exit the game, the advent calendar, the hunt for the golden book with 24 exciting riddles to save Christmas. We're about to begin day 13. We didn't have one yesterday because it was day 12. I was on Jaycation Station. We did a live. We hung out at Disneyland, had some fun, grabbed some beers and stuff. And the day before that was Sunday. We did the 11th and the 12th together. So let's just go over what we did for the 11th. So for the 11th, let's just quickly review 11th and 12th. We did finish the 11th with 0 clues. And that was the end of the streak. So the 11th, if we remember, the 11th was this Pac-Man game, and I left an apple at the bottom, on the floor, and then this this guy named Steve from the computer, uh, was gonna make a Pac-Man game, and then I left the apple there, and he says, "Hopefully you don't have any clues, or any. Hopefully he has nobody finds it or something." So we finished this in about 10 minutes, and that was pretty easy, but it was still pretty fun because it's like one of those things where you have to look at it from different angles in order to get the right number. That was day 11. And then came day 12. Started off not knowing anything, not knowing what to do. Ended up not knowing anything and not knowing what to do. Got really confused, and I think if I went with my gut, I would have been able to fill this out. And because I was looking up at this thing, I saw the word find. And it was like still don't know what's going on. Yeah. Yeah, this I don't like the 12th. But we're going to move on to the 13th. But I saw this, it has the letters for find, so I was intrigued. I should have filled it out first, and then it showed here find the 3 W's. And then it showed W here with a 4. And then it was really tricky. I do think it was solvable without the clues, but then I think we were stuck on it for like an hour, and then by that time, mental exhaustion. Then we looked up the clue, and it just got more confusing because it says DEFHIK, and in the clue it says K. There was no K, it was W instead. And those are all the letters that were within here. So the clue just made us more confused. And I think, George, you said that you looked it up and a lot of people were confused by that one. So we did have to use the clue, second clue, and then the solution. But they did kind of mess up on this one. So we can't be too hard on ourselves on the fact that we didn't, that we had to use all the clues and the solution. But you know what? That was back then. This is now. So that was Sunday. Yesterday, I hope you all caught it. Caught Jaycation and me on Jaycation's live stream. We were going around Disneyland, seeing some stuff. We spent the whole day. We went at opening. It was raining and there was nobody, so we got on like 5 rides. And then we got on everything we wanted to go on. And then as soon as the sun came out, there was like an hour of last minute, let's do these things. And then it got so packed. And, at that point, you just got to chill, grab a drink, go on some rides here and there, and then just take it easy because, man, it was so packed. All right, today I forgot to charge because I had to do something. So I'm plugged in. Hopefully the battery does not, hopefully it doesn't use more battery than it charges. But I have this here. And on the table, I also have my pager. I am currently on call. And if I get paged into work, I have to go at a moment's notice. So forgive me if I get called. All right. All right, emergency flux capacitor. We ran out. I forgot to charge the flux capacitor, so we can't go back in time. Even though I wish I could go back in time to yesterday because that was really fun at Disneyland. Here's my pager. If it goes off, just know that I might have to sign off like really quickly because I have to. If this goes off, that means there's an emergency and they need me ASAP or stat. Actually, stat. If it's ASAP, that can wait for tomorrow. If it's stat, then I have to be there ASAP. All right, right. Let's go to the storybook now. So this is. It went well with Jay. I was hanging out. We were just hanging out, just goofing off. Just doing our thing. It was pretty cool. It was his birthday, and I I I don't usually like give super chats or anything. I like giving in person super chat type of things. So I told him, hey, it's your birthday, and we've hung out before a few times. We know each other from it was from YouTube, but we've hung out a few times, and cool with his family. He's cool with my family, and yeah, it went well. We were just hanging out, having fun. He's a cool guy. He's the real guy that you see on video, so that's cool. Some people are different, but he's cool. I'm cool. We had a good time, and it went really well. And it got really cold, and then we went on Splash Mountain in the rain. So, look out for his. He went live, but he's also gonna have a more chill video about the day, and I'll have a video about the day also. So just look out for that. All right, let's start. December 13th December. There it is again, that strange feeling that has come over you several times this night. It's as if you recognize something here. But what could it be? The room you have now entered is a chemical laboratory. As soon as you realize that, you feel uncomfortable. And it's not just because of the large poster on the wall. Okay, we'll have to pay attention to that poster on the wall. Granted, the periodic table of elements bring back bad memories of your school days, but that's not it. You've since learned that science is quote unquote cool. I was actually in AP chemistry in high school. No, your discomfort comes from being in this lab not long ago. Apparently, an experiment went badly wrong here. It looks as if something may have exploded fairly recently. The floor and walls are riddled with enormous cracks and glass shards are scattered on the floor. Several of the halogen lamps on the ceiling have broken, and those left bathe the chaos in the laboratory in a diffused light. Even the digital clock on the wall seems to be broken. You look closer. It has indeed stopped, and only part of the LED is still intact. And what is that stuff over on the table? Could these brightly colored petri dishes be the cause of catastrophe? There's no one in sight to ask, so you keep looking around. Finally, you find a couple of sticky notes on the floor. You pick them up and take a closer look. Open door 13 now. There should be 4 riddle cards, K1, K2, K3, K4. If there was a K9, that clue must be rough. All right, so I think let me circle a couple things that we find on here that might be a little interesting. So they did mention on the wall. There's something on the wall. that there is a large poster on the wall and it's the periodic table. I'm just going to underline that so we can get back to it. And it says, what's that over on the table? And it's Petri dishes. So I just underlined that. Now we can open up the door and get the clues. If I'm talking a little bit weird, it's because I have what's called singaos on there. They're like canker sores on my tongue. When I have lack of sleep, they pop up and they're not fun. It's not cold sores from like eating the gooch or anything like that. It's cold sores from, I don't know. I just have to put salt on it or brush it. All right, opening door 13. Open up carefully. Take out the 3 cards or 4 cards, and let's look. Oh wow, there you go. Let's look at that. Let me turn the light on. Let me turn this light on so we can look inside the room first. All right, so in the room we have. It's like crackling, like they said, it's like it's something exploded. There's the colorful Petri dishes. There's steps on the floor in green. And here's the periodic table right here. It's not detailed, but it's a periodic table. There's Captain Science comic poster. Is that a Marvel character? And then here is the digital clock that's missing something. It looks like it could be a 3, a 6, or a 5. The next one could be a 2. And the last one could be 2 also, or a P, or something. We'll keep it. Oh, and then if we look up here, there are lights. It's a row. It's rows 4x4 lights. In the bottom left, the next one up, and the next one to the right. They're all broken off. All right, so that could be something. That could be nothing. But let's now read the riddle cards. So in that room we have colorful Petri dishes, we have a periodic table, and we have some digital thing on the side. All right, let's see. Thank you for all the 5 people watching. Just know that there is less than a 50% chance that I could get called into work. But if I get paged, if you hear that pager sound, I drop everything and I have to leave to go. But, there's less than a 50% chance of that happening on a weeknight. All right, riddle card. K1. This is a KY. All right. 2:15 a.m. to 4:45 a.m. Samples analyzed in the laboratory. Professor Irwin Katwich, team leader. Okay, these are notes that they said that we found on the floor. So, it has some times and samples analyzed. Maybe we have to set these in order of time. All right, the next one says 5:20 a.m. to 6:10 a.m. Halogen lamps changed in the laboratory. Borean Fliege, facility manager. All right, that happens a little later. Clue number 3. 7:55 a.m. Message. One of the samples has exploded and destroyed parts of the laboratory. Luckily, nobody was in the lab at the time. It is still unclear exactly when the explosion took place. Dr. Janet Chinsky, chemist. So it says exactly when. So maybe you have to solve when the explosion took place. Exactly. And maybe it's the time. Maybe it's the time on the wall. Because if it exploded, the power went out or something and it left it like that. But there's different possibilities that it could be. But maybe the solution of the 3 numbers is the digits of that. That's where my mind's going right now. 9:28 a.m. The investigation of samples from the laboratory have shown that the blast took place more than 3 hours ago. Nicola Ricci, Factory Fire Service. All right. So we're gonna do some math, I guess. I love the math. I went up to calculus 3, I think, and then I decided I don't love math that much. So let's see. First thing we'll do is let's take the clues. All right, let's do let's write this down on the back here. Okay, so we need to find out, I'm guessing, exactly when the blast took place because it's in bold. And I think it exactly happened at this time, whatever this is, but we don't know exactly because some parts of the digits are missing. So let's see. Let me copy that down. I'll write that down, and then we could do some sleuthing to see how what the exact time that could possibly have happened. All right, so I'm gonna recreate that digital. Oh, and then there's also colors. There's also colors from here that say like periodic table. That could be messing with our. That could be messing with our like a red herring or something, like a clue that doesn't lead anywhere. And oh, the footprints down there are also green. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, let's see. Let's see. So let me copy. Let me copy the digits. So I'm writing lightly all the digits, which is like a figure eight. And then I'll write in darker numbers or in darker lines the ones that are showing. All right, so that one, that one, that one, and that one. And the next one is the same thing except that way. The next one kind of looks like a P. All right, so inside the box, this is what it looks like. Inside the box, it looks like this. So if we look at it, we could go down to number 1, no, 2, no. It could be 3, it could be 5, it could be 6, 7, 8, it could be 8, and it could be 9. So we eliminate 1, 2, and 4, and 7. And then this one, it could be 2, can't be 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Okay, so it could only be one of those numbers. And this last one could be 2 or 8. All right, so that'll help us out. And then let's see. Let's write a timeline also. Let's write a timeline from 2 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. All right, so here's 2 a.m. Here's our line. Here's 2 a.m. and here's 9:30 a.m. All right, so 7:55. Let's see. What's between 2 and 9:30? That would be about 6. That'd be about 5:45. Okay, so the middle should be around 5:45. 5:45-ish. Okay, so now the investigation happens here. 7:55 is around here. That means that's when One of the samples has exploded and destroyed parts of the laboratory. Luckily, nobody was in the lab at the time. It's still unclear exactly when the explosion took place. So the explosion took place somewhere here. That's the explosion. And then 5:20 to 6. So wait, let's see. 2:15 to 4:45. Okay, let's see. I don't know if we're getting anywhere with this, but I'm just gonna write this down. Maybe it gives us a visual. Let's see. So samples analyzed. So from 2:15 to 4:45, samples were analyzed. And then from here, it exploded. And from here was like investigation. And then from 5:20, so from 5:20 to 6:10, halogen lamps change in the laboratory. All right, so my guess is it would be in here. If halogen lamps change in the laboratory, maybe this is where the explosion happened. So let's read this. At 9:28, the investigation samples load laboratory has shown blast. The blast took place more than 3 hours ago. So 3 hours ago, that would be 6:30 would be the latest. So since this is 5:20 and this is 6:10, 6:30 over here. This means the blast did not happen in this area. So the blast must have happened somewhere here. But from 2:15 to 4:45, samples were analyzed in the laboratory. So the explosion could not have happened here because the samples were being analyzed. And then halogen lamps changed somewhere in here. So halogen lamps changed somewhere in here. That's probably when it happened. And then at 7:55, right here, one of the samples has exploded and destroyed parts of the laboratory. Luckily, nobody was in the lab at the time. It is still unclear exactly when the explosion took place. My guess is the green sample that exploded because there are green feet. There are green feet marks down there. Oh, and you look at this. Look at this too. There's a green smoke coming from it. So green. What does green mean? Is there something at the periodic table that means green? I don't know if we have to pull out like a periodic table. Oh yeah, look. See, you can see green smears going all the way up here, and then green smears coming out here. So green. I think green is the secret. We just have to figure out what does that mean. Are they checking samples left to right, right to left? Does it have to do with the green part of the periodic table? You know, when I was younger, I didn't know what like girls' periods were. And then, but I knew my sister would write down um, on the calendar, to write down when they're expecting to have their period. I thought that was the periodic table. I was wrong. Anyway, so let's look at this. Let's see. Oh, I know. Okay. So the halogen lamps changed during this time. So I'm assuming the explosion happened at this time between 5:20 and 6:10. I'm assuming this happened between that time because the halogen lamps changed. Right here, this one says halogen lamps changed in the laboratory. So that means they exploded. It probably exploded during that time. And we could see what between this time, what fits in here. So let's actually check that out. So it has to be during 5 or 6 o'clock, which eliminates 9, 8, and 3. Hey, what's up, Roy? Thanks for joining. We're in the middle of solving this riddle, this puzzle. If you missed the beginning, you could always scroll back and or watch the replay once it sets up tomorrow morning. But yeah, this is December 13th, and I feel like we're about to solve this. So here it is right here. This could be a 5 or a 6 according to being between this time. Oh yeah, thanks for stopping by, Roy. Thank you. I really appreciate it. All right, and then this middle one cannot be an 8 or a 6 because this only goes up to 6. This only goes up to 5. So this is going to be a 2. There you go. And this can be an 8 or a 2. This can be a 5 or a 6. And you know what? This cannot be a 6. Because if this has to be a 2, that would be 620. So this has to be a 5. By process of elimination. By the process of elimination. Thanks, Roy. Thanks. I'm having fun. I'm having fun with it. Let's see, I just need to get some edited videos out. Been posting some YouTube shorts, which are the most successful for my channel so far. But we'll see how it goes. So this happened at 5:22 or 28, and I don't know how to tell exactly when it was. Oh wait, it took place more than 3 hours ago, so that would be 6:28. Oh, okay. So it looks like we have these first two numbers, 5, 2, and then 2 and 8. 2 or 8 is the next one. All right, let's read it in order again. Let's read it in order. Right there. Okay. We just need to, I don't know how to make sure. I mean, we could do trial and error. We can do trial and error with this and see which one matches up, but I think we have to solve it without having to do that. Yeah, Roy, Roy, was this your room? All right, 2:15 a.m. to 4:45 samples analyzed in the laboratory. That means it did not explode there. 5:20 to 6:10, halogen lamps changed in the laboratory. And message: one of the samples has exploded and destroyed parts of the laboratory. Luckily, no one was in the lab at the time. It is still unclear exactly when the explosion took place. Okay. And 9:28. The investigation of samples from the laboratory has shown the blast took place more than 3 hours ago. So that means before 6:28. But since this is the latest it could have been, that's way before 6:28. But it's after 5:20. So that still does not make us sure of what this number is. If this is 8 or if this is 2. Let's take a look inside the room again. Let's see if there's any clues. I mean, there's a lot of green. There's a lot of green stuff. So I think that, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. There's a periodic table, but there's no words on it. There's cracks on the door. And I don't know how to tell if there's any clue if this is an 8 or a 2. 520. Man, okay. Let's see what this says. Science captain. The feet. Well, it looks like the feet was green, walking towards here. Let's read it again. Man, let's see. There it is again. The strange feeling that has come, blah, 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 blah. As soon as you, yeah, we're just trying to find the clues throughout this meth lab. Hopefully, hopefully we're able to solve it with no clues. As soon as you realize that, you feel uncomfortable, and not just because of the large poster on the wall. Granted, the periodic table of the elements brings back bad memories of your school days, but that's not it. You've since learned that science is cool. Cool. Is that something? Is there is there a part of stuff that's cool, like on the periodic table? It was green that exploded, but then does that mean anything? Is green like the 8th? Or the green is the 2nd. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10. There's 10 digits. And then there's 2. I don't know, but we did get 5. Let's see, we did get 5 and 2 so far. I'm thinking this is 8, but there's no way to be sure yet. Let's see. No, your discomfort comes from being in this lab not long ago. Apparently, an experiment went badly wrong here. It looks as if something may have exploded fairly recently. The floor and walls are riddled with enormous cracks, and glass shards are shattered on the floor. Several of the halogen lamps in the ceiling have broken, and those left bathe the chaos in the laboratory in a diffuse light. Even the digital clock on the wall seems to be broken. You look closer, it indeed stopped, and only part of the LED is still intact. And what is that stuff on the table? Could these brightly colored petri dishes be the cause of the catastrophe? There is no one in sight to ask, so you keep looking around. You find a couple sticky notes on the floor. You pick them up and take a closer look. Okay, I don't know if it matters, but Professor Erwin Katzowitz, team leader. Borian Fleege, facility manager. Dr. Jana Chinsky, chemist. And Nicola Riesel, factory fire service. I have no clue. I have no clue. Does anyone have a clue where to look? Or what to look for? Let's see. So all we need to do is find out this last one. I mean, it's telling me 2, but why? There's no reason. And it doesn't say like. Oh, does it say like? Let's see. From 2:15 to 4:45. That is 2.5 hours. So that's 2.5 hours. There are 10 petri dishes. So every petri dish took 0.25 time. So 60 times 0.25 is 15 minutes. So maybe they're checking every 15 minutes. So at 2:20, at 5:20, nope, that means nothing. All right, let's go all in. I think it's gonna be 8. Let's see. 5:28. That is when the explosion happened, guys. I mean, I feel confident at this. Let's see. Let's put it inside the decoder table. 5:28 is when the explosion happened, of course, right? 5:28. All right, flip it over. Up 1. All right, so it already failed. Oh, no, it already failed. Oh, man. Okay, it already failed. 5. Oh, no. So that means it's 2. 5:22 is when it happened. There you go. All right. This is it. So it exploded at 5:22. My first instinct was right. It just goes to show, trust your instincts. 5:22 a.m. Let's see if it counts. Here is our room. The 13th. All right, here's the 13th. Let's move right 1. Diagonal down and down right here. There it is. Nope. Oh, no. All right. I think we might have failed this one too. Are they getting harder as the days go on? Because 12 was really hard. 5 is really hard. I mean, 12 was really hard and 13 is really hard. I thought I had something here. And I don't. This is very wrong. Might have to use another clue. All right, sorry, Master PJ. I'm gonna have to use another clue. Dang it. Okay, let's use a clue. Let's see. Okay, I'm not liking this one. 2 in a row, there's 2 in a row, that's just not well. Maybe it's because the number 13 is bad luck or something. All right. I'm sorry, guys, but we're going to have to use this clue. We are no longer the no clue gang. I'm disappointed in myself. And let's take a look. Okay, first clue. There was a mighty explosion in the laboratory, apparently one so violent that the clock on the wall has been damaged and stopped. For the solution code, you need to find out what time the explosion took place. You will find help with the information on the riddle cards. Okay, samples analyzed in a laboratory. Yeah, put that on here. 5:20, the 6 halogen lamps changed in the laboratory. Oh. Oh, man, okay. So I was wrong. I was wrong. I didn't even need to read the clue. I was wrong. So the facility manager changed the halogen lamps. I was thinking that the halogen lamps changed by exploding, but no, he changed the lamp. So it cannot be 610. It cannot be 610. It cannot be 610. It cannot. Hey, oh, hi, Mark. All right, let's see. I messed up. Let me start again. So this is what we have here. And then we have this. Then we have this. All right. So it happened before 6:30, but it happened after 6:10 because Boring and Fleege changed the lamps. And then at 7:55, then they found out that it exploded. So therefore, it happened in the 6 o'clock hour. So here's the so the first one is 6. And then 268, 8 doesn't exist, 6 doesn't exist on that part. So this is 2. And then the last one, man. Oh, you know what? 928. I can't round up. That's okay. So it happened more than 3 hours ago, which was before 6:28. So this cannot be 8 and this is 2. Bless you. Thank you. So it happened exactly at 6:22. That's all we needed. That was easy. Why am I thinking? I was thinking way too much. So it happened at 6:22. It was all here in the clues. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper up, and Heavy D up in the limousine, hanging pictures on the wall. Okay. There you go. This is it. This is it, guys. This is the real answer. I can't believe I was thinking way too much. All I have to do is read exactly what it did. Oh man, how it's 6:22. There you go. 6:22. I didn't even have to read that first clue. Because after reading the first clue, it just told me again what I was going to do or what I was doing already. Anyway, this is the real answer. There you go. Let's check it out. Check it out. All right. Here it is. Okay, this is it. We got it. We solved it. This one, I'm mad at myself for this one. Right, there you go. Here's 13. So we're going to move 1 to the right, 1 down diagonal, and 1 more to the side. And it has to be hexagon, hexagon, circle, hexagon, hexagon, circle. This is day 14. We got it. And this is going to be tomorrow's. All right, so there it is. I kind of fooled myself a little bit because I fooled myself because it was like, I was thinking way too much. I just have to think of the simpler answer. Man. All right, let's go over this. Let's go over all the clues that they were going to give us. All right, here you go. Oh man, my nose is starting to run. So this is the clue that we read, which just did what we were gonna do anyway. It just said to do what we are gonna do. All right, so second clue. Logical conclusions are needed here. Professor Katzowitz analyzed samples at the lab at 2:15 to 4:45. So that time there's no problem yet. The facility manager, Bordian Fleege, has confirmed that everything was fine from 5:20 to 6:10. It said that the lights changed. I thought the lights changed as in some lights were on, now they're off. That changed. But no, the lights changed, meaning he went to change lights and check to make sure all the lights were functioning properly. So that means the explosion would have happened after 6:10 when he checked. And a tip from Miss Riesel from the fire service at 9:28 says you at the accident happened more. Well, it tells you that the accident happened more than 3 hours earlier. So that means before 6:28. As nobody was in the lab when the explosion occurred, you can narrow the time frame between 6:11 to 6:27. Now pay attention to the stop clock. The stopped clock. You can work out the rest of the riddle easily. Yes, and we did. That's the solution, but dang it, I just wish I hadn't had to read that first clue because it didn't help. Here's the solution. The riddle cards tell you that the accident happened between 6:11 and 6:27. It follows then that the first digit on the clock must be 6. Aside from that, second digit can only be a 1 or a 2. All other digits would be a time which does not fall within the period in question. Now take a look at the defective clock. It stopped working at the time of the explosion. However, the couple of the light emitting diodes on the dial are whoa, that's a tongue twister. All other digits would be the time that does not fall within the period in question. Now take a look at the defective clock. It stopped working at the time of the explosion. However, a couple of light emitting diodes on the dial are still intact. That's a mouthful. These tell you that the second digit must be 2, and the third digit must be between 1 and 7 due to the time period. The only number that the existing light strips allow is a 2, so the code is 622, which we got. Enter the code, flip it back, you get the door with these symbols: hexagon, hexagon, circle. Right? 14 on the door. There you go. That's the solution. We would have gotten it without any help from the clues, but I was not trusting myself. That's the lesson for today. Trust yourself. That's it. You know what they say. You can't. You know what they say. You can't teach an old horse to do tricks with the water or something like that. Anyway, that is December 15th. I can't believe it. That was. I feel odd about that one. I feel odd about December 13th. It wasn't the I don't know. That didn't go as smoothly as I thought because I was going off of my misinterpretation of one of the clues. And then when I read the first clue to the solution, it really led me to go to what I was supposed to do, which is just reread the clues and pay attention to it, which for some reason I felt like I didn't. But we solved it. We solved day 13. Now day 14 is right here. It's gonna be tomorrow. So join us tomorrow around the same time. I'm hoping it's gonna be closer to 9, but I just sometimes it's kind of hard. I have, I have work and my family, so gotta take care of them first before I do this. But you know what? It works out. This is fun. This is fun. We're halfway through, and I think we're gonna let's do the rest without any clues. I think we got that. I think there was a little snag on 12, and there's a little snag on 13, which was my fault because I didn't read it carefully. I didn't follow the instructions carefully. Just like in school where it says satisfactory needs to pay attention to the questions. When they do like a trick question and you didn't pay attention to it and then you answer it obviously wrong. I hated that. Anyway, yeah, check out my YouTube shorts. I try to post one every single day. And then we're doing this until the 24th, and then we'll reveal the golden book. And I'm gonna try to edit some videos and put it up. Some are gonna be some Disneyland. There's one at the observation deck in LA. There's another one at Shabaram Park, and there's another one at Barnsdall. And I like to go LA and Orange County even further. So if you have any suggestions, just comment on one of the videos. I'll write it down and hopefully I get to it sometime soon. If not, I'm gonna make it a goal to go to these places in 2023. So thank you for joining. We are done with the 13th. Hit a little snag, but it's all good. We finished it. We solved it. And it's just gonna keep getting better. So thanks for joining. I'm gonna sign off now. I'm getting sleepy because I'm tired from yesterday still. But and I'm on call, so I gotta sleep before, if they call me in and I have zero sleep, work tomorrow is gonna be horrible. All right. Thanks for joining. And we're going to sign out to the moon. Ow! Wait. Ow!